Griffin, look at that. Look at that thing.
Look at that thing. I don't know what the thing is.
It's a grinder, is what it's called. No,
that...
not the app. Not the app.
I was going to ask.
Definitely not the app. This is FUTUREGRIND, a game that is coming to the PlayStation 4, PC, and Macintosh computers in 2015. And I'm doing some flips. You see these flips?
I see that. Yeah, I see them, but then you hit the yellow line, you exploded, so
yeah.
I'm afraid you're gonna have to start over.
Well, that means I won. I did a good job, actually, is what that
Typically,
means.
explosion is... What is this game?
So this is a stunt sports game that I think you could describe as... It looks like Uniracers, but it doesn't really play like Uniracers. It plays more like a Tony Hawk or Trials, or I think Joe Dangerous. Not a bad comparison.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Whoa.
But yeah, look at that. So basically what it is you've got this vehicle, and there are 3 types of track, white, blue, and red. Now your blue wheel can only touch the blue track without exploding you, and the red wheel can only touch the red track without exploding you. And your goal is to string together the long combos with flips and undergrinds and overgrinds and hang grinds and stuff. And you are basically just doing tricks and combos and Tony Hawking it up.
It looks pretty rad.
I think it's extremely rad. I first caught wind of this game. It's by 2 dudes, Owen Goss and Matt Ricks. Matt Ricks is the guy who made an iOS game called Train Yard that is one of my favorite puzzle games ever. And this is nothing like it, but it is really cool nonetheless. They had this at a GDC like mix event, I think back in March of this year, and it is, I don't know, it just feels really, really good. Like from talking to them about it, they sort of seem focused on nailing the feel right now. They're like, yeah, we're visually not there yet, but we love how it feels. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about because this looks pretty cool.
I have a question. The game is called FUTUREGRIND.
Mm-hmm.
Does it star Future Brave?
I couldn't tell ya. They aren't really talking about plot details today. They're really just focused on that core gameplay, and I think they're gonna nail down the story mode closer to Q3 and Q4 is when they're gonna start rolling out the PR cycle on that.
Does future Bam Margera make an appearance at any point?
Again, we're not
a future Mike Vogel.
We're not ready to talk about any of the celebrity people we may or may not have locked down for FUTUREGRIND.
Have you ever seen the movie Grind? The hit Disney Channel original movie Grind.
Today, again, we're really focused on just getting the core gameplay out there.
You're avoiding the question. You don't want to sound uncultured on the internet because you haven't seen the Disney Channel original movie Grind.
I do want to keep my Disney Channel cred here. So one cool thing about this game I want to point out is that in addition to just flipping with the stick, you can hit X to jump and then double jump. And you can kind of hold X to make your jump go longer, so you kind of have a lot of air control. And the combo system is really kind of interesting because the way it works is you'll see that whenever I link 2 things together, like when I go from blue to red to blue to blue to red, my combo meter goes up, right? So it's like 1x, 2x, 3x, 4x. And when you touch a white rail, which doesn't hurt you, it's impossible to get hurt on a white rail, that ends your combo. So it's kind of like landing your trick. So what a really adept player would want to do is actually keep their combo going indefinitely and avoid the white rails, which you'll kind of see me try to do here. I try to just do a double flip over the white rail and keep this combo rolling.
Is there some magnetism to how the rails stick on?
Sort of. So basically, you have a limited amount of like jump you can do between rails, but if you are doing an undergrind, which is sticking your wheel onto the bottom of a rail, you kind of have infinite boost for the duration of that. So it's effectively magnetized to it as long as you're holding down the jump button. And then my favorite move in the game is when you kind of have, I don't know how to describe it, the rails between your wheels, and you're kind of hanging on it that way.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to nail, but it is worth a decent amount of points and just looks real cool when you can get it right. I don't know how much Joe Danger you played, but in sort of 2D stunt, I guess Ollie Ollie isn't a bad comparison either, but in 2D stunt games like this, there's something really satisfying to when you just like beat the shit out of a run and just kill it. And this game is no different. I've been nagging them to send us a build for ages, and now that they have, I kind of can't stop playing it.
Yeah, it looks pretty sweet. Is like momentum management part of it? Because that's a big thing in like games like Trials, oh god, what was that game that was like Joe Danger where you're like Action Hank?
Yeah. I hadn't even thought about that, but no, you are pretty much moving from left to right automatically, and what you're in control of is your rotation and your jumping. So it's actually a pretty minimalist control scheme, and I think the upshot of that is that you end up with situations like this staircase, this reverse staircase at the end of the level, where if you just hold down left and nail it, you can kind of walk up it and do some sweet flips that way.
I just want to take a moment here and get out in front of the internet controversy that I've just caused. Because when I was referencing the movie Grind earlier, and I called it a Disney Channel original film, the film I was thinking was, of course, Brink, starring Eric Von Detten.
Griffin, now we have to start the video all the way over.
Start the video over because I don't want to sound. I don't want to get emails all day like, oh, why don't you go ahead and say some wrong shit about Smart House? Why don't you say some wrong shit about my God, that's the only other Disney Channel.
Who's the
Xenon girl? That's
Xenon. That's what I was thinking of. The girl with she's got the silver clothes going.
Yeah, and she likes Protozoa, I think was the band that she was. Anyway, I just want to formally apologize to Mr. Von Detten and Walt Disney.
Walt Disney himself.
And his estate.
I actually know a Disney, so if you want to get that apology to Walt directly, I'm sure she could hook you up.
That would be great. And if you could get me some of those like princess wristbands to give you like the extra special treatment at the park, that would be terrific.
I have not heard of that. Anyways, this is Future Grind.
They're called princess wristbands.
Yeah.
They're not called princesses. This looks cool. When is it going to be extant? When am I going to be able to... You're doing really shitty, by the way.
I'm trying... So, I mean, okay. In my defense, this is one of those games where I feel like you could just try to go to the end of the level and survive, and you'd have an okay time. It wouldn't be super hard. And what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get that sweet combo and get the gold 50,000 point high score. And sometimes that means repeating yourself over and over and over until you nail it. Look, see, this is going alright. This is a good run. Check this out.
Yeah,
bonk,
you're doing alright.
Bonk, little hang there, and then go boink, 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 and then I fucked it. I fucked it right up. This game is coming out Q1 of what year is it? 2015? So 2016, right? That's the next year.
Yeah, that's the next one coming up. I don't know. Maybe they'll mix it up.
Maybe.
Maybe
But this,
I don't know.
what they're saying is they're calling this an early 2016 release on PC.
Johnny
Mac.
Tsunami. That's another one. Johnny
There you
Tsunami.
go. We got all. That's 3 films. That's 3 films.
Alley Cat Strike. That was the bowling one.
I didn't see many of these movies.
We got like 5 minutes of video left. You want to just like go over our favorite Disney Channel?
I'm into it. Yeah, I was actually.
Well, there was the Xenon sequel.
I didn't know there was multiple Xenons.
Yeah, there was Xenon. I think it was called Girl of the 22nd Century, but that would be crazy because she'd be over 100 years old. Yeah.
I don't think.
High School Musical, but that was a bit after my time. Like I like the more like campier films. For
I like the
Halloween Town.
I want a nice, super low budge 4x3 motion picture. That's what I like about the classic Disney Channel movie experience.
Rip Girls. And that was the prequel to the hit film R.I.P. Department.
Okay, I feel like at a certain point you're gonna tell me, you're gonna reveal that you made up 4 out of the 5 of these, and I have to identify which ones are real and which ones are.
Oh, this will be a fun game. Okay, Miracle in Lane 2. Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire.
Okay.
Or Phantom of the Megaplex. One of those is fake.
Oh shit. So one of them's a racehorse, one of them's a strain of marijuana. I'm gonna say Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire is real. No, sorry, fake. What was the first one? What was the first one? Megaplex?
The first one was, I've forgotten, but all 3 were real.
Oh shit. Okay.
They used to make some movies, dude.
They were cranking them out over there.
They were cranking them out. I'm looking at a list of them now. They were doing like 14 a year. The production of these was like, you got 3 weeks. Go make Motocrossed. Go get out there and make The Luck of the Irish. You got 2.5 weeks.
That's a quick turnaround.
From casting to post, 2.5 weeks.
Like the casting room, there was just a door in the back of it that led directly onto the set and then directly back out into the parking lot. They just turned them around instantly. Anyways, Future Grind is coming out Q1 2015. You can do some flips in it. I can't stop playing this E3 demo that they hooked us up with. It looks like my type of video juego.
Yeah, me too. Cadet Kelly. That's another one.
I figured that was another one. Bye, Griffin.